Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is the greatest time of the day. From the center of the universe, New York City, it's the main event you've been waiting for. It's time to go in the cage with Cyclone.
And I'm back, and so is the freaking heat wave. It was gone for like a couple of minutes, and I don't know why it came back. But it did, and I hate it. Fat guys don't like heat. Miami or the weather. So, like I promised you guys, take a look-see poo. All the stickers is on the computer now. World's greatest superhero, the Cape Crusader, the Batman. The best of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Raphael. Obviously, check out CycloneComedy.com. You know, they don't make stickers with Darce jokes. Obviously, it's an odd hold, so you can't really make a sticker. But Rare Naked Jokes, pretty good second choice for a sticker. And these two kind of, close to my heart. Blue Bear and Eeyore, obviously. If you know me, you know I always complain about everything. I am like a human Eeyore. And I actually played Blue Bear in a camp play, so that's why Blue Bear is on the computer with the rest of the stickers. So there you have it. The stickers are all on. I do have to explain and really make you guys understand some of the rules as far as my raffles are concerned. John James is my admin, my second in command, my lieutenant, my 4-star general on my Psyche Prods page. If he feels something's out of line, he's going to delete it. It's just the way it is. I know John a long time. We've won some money together. We've lost a lot of money together. And it's just the way it is, okay? Now, for the UFC pay-per-views, okay, yes, I say you can make your picks as long as the picks are in before the first fight. Here's the situation. Don't wait till 5 seconds before the card starts to get your picks in. Because here's the deal. I'm not in the house. I'm not near a computer. So I can't okay it. John James is also not around, so he can't clear it. So then at the end of the night, when I see your picks and he didn't clear it and I know I didn't clear it, guess what? Your picks aren't going to count. Okay? So I put the picks up relatively early. Thursday, Friday morning, the latest, I put them up. You have till Saturday afternoon, really, to put them up. That's all I'm asking. Now, as far as the question raffle is concerned, 12 noon, high noon, Eastern time. So, if you're not on the East Coast, Google your time to New York time. When the clock strikes 12 noon on a Monday afternoon, that's it. Because this wheel has to be put together every week separately. Okay? Just so you guys are clear. I wanted to smooth out issues with some people, and now everything should go smoothly. I hope. And remember, no other show, when it comes to MMA or combat sports for that matter, is giving away prizes. Except I'm the only one. So, hate to say like this, it's my rules. Okay? And I go above and beyond for you guys. To just follow really simple rules. That's all I ask. Anyways, enough of the updates, okay? Guys, share the show pretty freaking please. I beg of you. Be interactive during the show and share the show. It's really quite simple. Check out CycloneComedy.com. And look, dog days of summer are upon us, guys. It is t-shirt weather. And the best t-shirts you can find are on effectiveaggression.com. So go pick up a t-shirt for yourself. Look, we got some MMA to go over, and we got a whole lot of stuff to discuss as far as the sweet science of boxing is concerned. And we, my friends, are going to start this shingding off right after this.
This is Frank Edgar. This is the Barbarian Tim Bosch.
I'm World Series of Fighting undefeated lightweight champion Justin Gaethje.
MMA legend, UFC Hall of Famer, Iceman. Fuck it up. If you got the guts, step in the cage with Cyclone.
All right, guys. So after last week's card, while Maxim Dadashev was still in the hospital, bad news came out after the show finished. As a matter of fact, it was more towards Tuesday morning that sadly the 28-year-old succumbed to his injuries suffered at the hands of Subriel Matias. And he passed away from them. You have to understand, he was taken to the University of Maryland Prince George Hospital, which is not one of the better hospitals in the Washington area. They do have a trauma center, and that's why he was taken there. But it makes you understand more, and for those of us here in New York, make us happier that we truly have the best hospitals in the world here in New York. It's just the way it is. It's the sad facts. And not only did Maxim pass away, but a couple of days later, Hugo Centillion passed away from his wounds that he suffered in his fight against Eduardo Abreu. And he's 23. So we've lost a 28-year-old and a 23-year-old in a span of 7 days. While Hugo and Eduardo were waiting for the decision in their 10-round fight, Hugo fainted. His coaches were able to hold him up. Fainted when he got back to the locker room. Rushed to the hospital. Surgery for a brain blood clot in the brain. And he passed away 4 days later. That is what you call a shame. And I don't know why boxing back in the turn of the last century, the olden days, the golden olden days, the highlight of boxing, the Joe Louis era, the Ernie Shavers era, even the Jerry Cooney era, Ali, Frazier, Foreman, Sugar Ray Robinson. All these guys fought once a week. I don't know why. I have no reason. I can't understand it. Why guys that fought a hell of a lot more back then didn't suffer the damage that guys are now. Could say guys are stronger, bigger, and have more power now. That's true. But, and Chael Sonnen tried to break this down, and he made some very good points that rounds is really the basis that have always been consistent. But I don't know how we can stop it, because I'll tell you what. Forget about deaths. A living death is having CTE. And I know a lot of people in the boxing community say it's not as prevalent as you think. It's not like football. No, I can assure you guys, it is. As a matter of fact, I think it's even worse. And you can't be tested for CTE until you're dead. While you're alive, they can't cut your brain open, keep you alive, and say, hey, you got CTE. Happens only in an autopsy. One thing that I was thinking about that maybe possibly can be a slowing down of the injuries is if they stopped wearing the pillows on their hands that they're wearing. No more 20-ounce gloves, no more 18, no more 16. I'm not saying they should all go to 4-ounce gloves like MMA. But glove size has to change. I truly, in my heart of hearts, believe that. I think if you change the size of the gloves, you put these monsters in, say, 8 or 10-ounce gloves. You know, you go to Modell's, Dick's, any type of sporting goods store near you, there's something called heavy bag gloves. Those are usually 8-ounce gloves. You put them in those, maybe you put them in 10-ounce gloves, and you have them fight in that. Now, the downside to that is fighters with brittle hands are going to break more easier. But here's the deal. If you're a fighter and your left hand is broken, you're not going to throw your left hand, so you're going to use your right hand. Then if your right hand breaks, now you're in, up you-know-what creek without a paddle, so to speak. And it might lead to fights ending faster because a fighter can't continue with 2 broken hands. I think that's a possibility. That's an avenue that has to be looked at. The size of the gloves, I'm telling you, I think there's something there. I don't know. I'm not an expert, and hopefully very soon someone can be over here talking boxing with me, and I'll bring that up to them. Because I think, honestly, it is something that might be a cure. It's you can't just go down one avenue that this is the be-all, end-all of solutions. Because it's not. Not by a long shot. You have to do this, this, and this, and then you will solve all the problems. That goes for weight cutting across combat sports. Well, weight cutting in MMA. That goes for severe injuries and the crazy amount of deaths we've had recently in boxing. I think that's the way to go, folks. Now, continuing with the sweet science and issues that make me go, Dylan White. Dylan White. Why is it everyone named Dylan is a freaking head case? Dylan White, unanimous decision over Oscar Rivas a couple weeks ago now. The number one mandatory for Deontay Wilder. His career is now on the path, on the money train. It's all promising things. Thumbs up on every side around Dylan White. And he pops for multiple drugs. I don't understand it. And I get it that there's a competitive nature. Look, there's a competitive nature right here, Strong Island, I'm someone that I see other people's numbers. I want to beat them, I get it. Boxers, everybody else is cheating. You want to cheat too to keep it up. I get it. I really do. But just because you can doesn't mean you should. And that's a way to live life, everyone. Okay? Dylan White just completely pooped himself. Because now, there's no way in hell he's getting Deontay Wilder. There's no way he's going to get anybody big for quite a while. As a matter of fact, I believe the WBA is considering suspending him for 10 months. I remember hearing something about that. Why do it? You saw Dylan, you saw what happened to Jarrell Big Baby Miller. If one person jumps off a bridge and splatters themselves, what makes the next person think if they jump, they're not going to splatter? I don't quite get the thought process of pro athletes anymore. I really don't. It's such a different time than what I remember being the sweet spot of the sport. And speaking of drugs, Eddie Hearn and AJ, Anthony Joshua, they want that rematch against Andy Ruiz to be at Wembley Stadium. Now look, that stadium will hold a hell of a lot more people than any other arena in the United States. So that means more money. It will be a huge home advantage for Joshua. Anthony Joshua, you could say he quit. You could say he's a paper champion. You could say he was dodging Deontay. Say what you will about AJ. AJ's clean. AJ does VADA testing. AJ's not going to pop for anything illegal. Andy Ruiz shouldn't fear that. Andy Ruiz not wanting to go to the UK for the rematch is for one reason and one reason only. The British Boxing Commission is the most corrupt commission on this planet. They make Congress look like paupers. They are so corrupt over there. That's the only reason. And look, I get it. Andy wants to, the rematch to be at the Garden. It's where he, put AJ out. It's his home away from home. Do it here in New York. Personally, I think the rematch should be in London. I think Andy should just break down, bite the bullet, travel halfway around the planet, go into Wembley, and if you're so sure you can beat him again, do it in front of his home crowd. It's that simple. It really, quite honestly, is that simple. And look, if they need to do it here in the States, honestly, it doesn't need to be in the Garden. It should be in Vegas. Maybe LA. But that's it. And remember, I said I would choose it to be in Wembley. One fight here, one fight there. That's the way it should be. And then maybe like a trilogy in a neutral country. I've always been of that opinion that you should split first and second fights in each other's country, and then third be flip a coin, spin a roulette wheel, throw a dart on a map, find a country that way. But that's the way I've always thought. Gervonta Davis. Floyd Mayweather is, I don't want to say protecting Gervonta, but Gervonta now is 22-0 after beating the lights off of somebody that should have never been in the ring with him. Okay. Who he should be fighting is Tevin Farmer. Maybe Joseph Diaz, possibly Ryan Garcia. I'll give you one of those. Who he should be fighting, though, is Tevin Farmer. Look, Floyd's a smart money. As much as I hate Floyd Mayweather, when it comes to money, when it comes to negotiations, Floyd's top dog in the business. And quite frankly, I don't like the fact that he hasn't fought anybody in 22 fights that isn't on his level. Okay? And yes, I get it. You start off slow, you beat up the lower end guys, then you take a step up, deal with those guys, take another step up, deal with those guys, and so on. I get it. That's the way a fighter should build his career. You don't want to fight it 3-4 fights into a career, boom, fighting for a title. That's stupid. But I truly, truly believe that it's time. 22 fights in, the fight that has to be made is Tevin Farmer and Tank Davis. I'm not saying Tevin is going to beat him, but Tevin will put Gervonta Davis through the paces. That's what will happen. It will be a baptism under fire. Now, who knows? Maybe before Lomachenko makes his next move, then you maybe have a Gervonta Davis Vasyl Lomachenko fight. And how freaking explosive would that be? That would be freaking nuts. Nuts! Exclamation point, exclamation point, and a third exclamation point. That Gervonta Davis and Lomachenko would make my areolis and the nipples stand at attention, and I would go. Seriously, that would be insane. But it's about a year away. It's just not there yet. And then again, let's see if Gervonta Davis can get past Tevin Farmer. And after that, give him a Ryan Garcia. I think that would be a fair order to go on. I want you guys, since we have discussed the sweet science, I really need you guys to share the show. It's so important to me. It really is. Check out Psyche Prods on Facebook. And you, if you follow the rules, follow the directions, can enter a raffle, win plenty of free prizes, because I'm the best. I hook you guys up. Okay? And by the way, on Psyche Prods on Facebook, this week, I have a whole bunch of articles coming out that I'm working on. So keep the eyeballs open for that. Check out Effective Aggression. It is so very important that you do that. Okay, do a good deed. Make a purchase, because the money goes to charity. Okay, money's not going into anybody's pockets. Charitable donations is good deeds, and you want good deeds because that gets you into heaven. Okay, so we are now going to head in to the octagon, but first we're going to take a quick break.
Hi, I'm Jim Miller.
This is Dan Morigliano.
I'm Derek Winston.
I'm Nick the Carney Lentz, and you're locked into the cage with Cyclone.
How amazingly fun, and quite frankly, it didn't look like it was going to be fun going into it, was UFC 240. Turned out better card than what it looked like on paper, which just goes to show you, can't believe what you read. Unless, by the way, for the record, it's one of my articles that you could read on boneheadpicks.com or Psyche Prods on Facebook. My stuff, you believe. But when you look at a card and you say, card's not really worthy, turned out pretty worthy, didn't it? Vivian Arajo, I know I'm butchering her name, looks like she is the next female face of Brazilian MMA. You got Cyborg, you got Amanda, you got Claudia Gadelha, you got Caitlin Vieira, Jessica Andrade. How can I forget Jessica? Obviously. But what she did to Alexis Davis was impressive. It really, really was impressive. Now, you look at it like this. she pieced her up on stand-up. And Alexis usually does, in stand-up situations, get lit up, and she got pieced up pretty good. But Vivian seems to be the next phase. She has all the attributes that every other female Brazilian has. The coming forward, the stiff jabs. I don't know what's in the water in Brazil, but geez, freaking Louise, there's something there. Obviously, speaking about getting pieced up, Frankie Edgar got pieced up by Max Holloway. And I've thought long and hard about it, and one of the articles I'm working on, I say that you can absolutely compare Max Holloway and Tony Ferguson. Now, I can't say they'll never fight, because look, if Max ever goes up to 155, all bets are off. But they're striking, their relentless output, their cardio is so damn similar. And their styles are almost identical. And yes, Max is a huge featherweight, but a lightweight, he was tiny as hell against Poirier. So he's not big enough right now to be a 155er. He is the Tony Ferguson, and Tony Ferguson is the Max Holloway of each other's divisions. You put the two of them next to each other, and you could say they were separated at birth. They are like the Gemini twins as far as I'm concerned. And as far as changing divisions, look, what do we do with Frankie Edgar? Frankie Edgar he's 37 years old. At featherweight, I really, really, really doubt he climbs the ladder and gets another title shot. Crazy things have happened, but I don't see that happening. Frankie's in a tough situation in the UFC. If he goes up to 155, back to lightweight where he was originally, the killers that are there will light him up. Mark Henry had said to Joe Rogan, said to Luke Thomas, said to Ariel Helwani, that Frankie Edgar can go down to bantamweight. At 37 years old, I don't want to see him dropping another 10 from 145 to go down to 135. I started the show talking about guys getting dead and injuries and weight cutting and losing brain capacity and being in bad situations physically. He goes down to 135, whether he can do it or not, at that age. And that's what's going to happen to Frankie Edgar. He's going to shorten his life. Now look, he has a couple kids. He has a pretty wife. Okay, he has a nice house in Toms River, New Jersey. I don't think he wants to leave this planet anytime soon. What might be best is either finishing his contract at featherweight, just being a fighter to take fights, and then finish up Ryzen, 1FC, Bellator, PFL. There's other organizations where where Frankie can hang with the 145ers a little bit easier than they are here in the UFC. And I honestly think for his own health and his own well-being, he has his own gym. He doesn't need to do this. Remember, folks, Barry Sanders retired too soon. Okay? Steve Carlton, Michael Jordan held on a little bit too long. Kobe Bryant retired right about the right time. It's better to retire a little bit too soon than a little bit too late. You don't want to be carried out in a stretcher, and you don't want to be carried out in a body bag either. How great is Felicia Spencer? Talking about a baptism under fire for Gervonta Davis and Tevin Farmer. Felicia Spencer underwent a baptism under fire. Chris Cyborg threw everything except the kitchen sink, and they all landed. They landed flush, and Felicia kept coming. She walked through everything. The chin on this girl, holy smokes. Look, I don't know if the UFC is actually going to ever keep the female 145 division, or if they're going to just cut and run with it. They need desperately to put a division around this girl. She's going to be the face of the female 145 division in the UFC as long as they keep that division. Otherwise, just let her go. Let her go to the PFL. Let her go to Bellator. Okay, same thing with Megan Anderson. Same thing with Cyborg. And Cyborg, by the way, I am willing to bet each and every one of you right now, Cyborg's already gone. Yes, you know what? She wants the Amanda rematch. She's wanted it since right after losing to Amanda. I say hell with the rematch. Hell with the rematch. Hell with the trilogy. Because here's the deal. If she beats Amanda, okay, there's a clause in the contract that a champion can't leave with the belt. An upgrade in the contracts kicks in automatically. And look, she's not happy in the UFC. And we all know the UFC is not happy with her. They've never wanted her. They used her to get views, to get ratings, to get asses in the seats. Mission accomplished. They're not happy with her. They're really not. And she obviously isn't happy with them. I think it's best for both parties to split up. And that brings me to an article that I just wrote. Let's talk about BJ Penn for a minute, huh? Everyone is on Dana White's ass. How can Dana allow BJ Penn a fight? It's not just Dana White. Dana can give him a fight. Dana can give him a contract. But it's the commissions that hold responsibility for fights. Commission can turn around and say, nope, we're not giving him his license. A license to fight is not a birthright. You aren't given that right just because. The ability to fight, that license, that little piece of paper, you have to prove you are deserving of. Now look, we've all seen the movie Balboa, where Rocky yells at the commission, who are you to tell me that I can't do what I want to do? Maybe that would be BJ's argument. I don't know. Maybe he hasn't seen the movie. But BJ is someone that shouldn't be fighting. BJ should be a company ambassador. And let's remember what Dana White said. And for all the lies that come out of Dana's mouth, because that's what promoters do. Promoters can't tell you the truth until the truth is ready to happen. Until then, it has to be a lie. You cannot know. You, the public, are not allowed to know what's about to happen until right before it happens. That's just the way it is, folks. I really don't know what to say. It's commission based. And quite frankly, if the commission okays it, what are you going to do? Okay? You can't really do that much. You really, really can't. But hopefully the commission will at the 11th hour tell BJ no. Because quite frankly, Nick Lentz, who has issues with BJ and BJ has issues with Nick the Carney Lentz can light BJ up and it's going to end not pretty at all. I do want to bring up, before we start wrapping this shingding up, I do want to bring up two quick wrestling points. Last week, obviously, was the Raw reunion. People asked me what did I think about it. I don't mind something like that once in a blue moon, bringing old guys back. But there was no continuity in the card. It was a spot, a spot, a spot, a spot, a spot, a spot, a spot. There was no flow to the action. That's why I didn't like it. And I don't like seeing old guys take bumps anyways. Okay? There's no call for it. When you're that level, when you are an icon, when you are a legend, it's not necessary. But it did make me think for a minute, if in the future they did another reunion, who do I think would they not bring back? Now remember, Hogan had some racist comments in the past. They brought him back. The Ultimate Warrior was a notorious homophobic person. They brought him back. They put him in the Hall of Fame. Who do I not think? Who is worse than a racist and a homophobe? Would Vince and Triple H and the family say, nope, we draw the line at? And I was thinking, two names came up to me, and I wonder if they would actually ever be brought back. And, I wonder what Rudy Asher thinks about this. Dean Ambrose and CM Punk. I don't know if they'd ever bring those two cats back. And mind you, they're not as bad as saying homophobic stuff and saying racist stuff. I just don't think that they would bring them back. And the other wrestling news I wanted to talk about was something that's breaking this afternoon. And that is, let me just do this for a second. Jerry the King Lawler. The King! And his lawyer have set in motion the wrongful death lawsuit for Jerry's son, Brian Christopher. If you don't remember, Brian was popped for DUI. The sheriff in Hardman County, Tennessee, told Jerry, don't worry, this is going to be the safest place for Brian. He's going to sober out. And he was found hanging. Jerry, his lawyer, looked at all the evidence. Obviously, a crushed Jerry Lawler. And the lawyer told Jerry that with the evidence that was shown, there's no way that was a suicide. So the wrongful death suit is now taking place. And we started the show talking about the death of a 23-year-old and a 28-year-old. The death of a 46-year-old isn't good either, especially when it's the son of someone like a Jerry Lawler and the father has to bury the son. That goes against nature, where the parent outlives the child. And you never want to see that. But that was breaking news today in the wrestling world. Guys, I ask you, I come to you with asking of a favor. Please, share the show. Check out effectiveaggression.com. Get yourself a shirt. Buy an autographed glove from an athlete and a celebrity. We have a stack full of signed gloves. Pick one up. It's a charitable donation. Doing a good deed. Okay? Do it. Say Cyclone sent you. And when we come back, it'll be game time right after this.
I'm Dennis Bermudez. Hi, I'm Creepy Ian McCall.
Yo, I'm Kelvin Gastelum.
This is Mark Goldberg.
Yo, I'm the world's most dangerous man, Hall of Famer Ken Shamrock, and you're getting tapped out in the cage with Cyclone.
Happy anniversary, happy anniversary.
Oh, wow. We're back. Didn't hear the audio. Oh, well. On this day, anyways, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary. There, I did it myself. 2 birthdays. Jay Haran is 43. How is nobody older than me, damn it? And Scott Clymer is 31. And something else happened on this day in MMA history. A barn burner, a blockbuster card happened on this day. 2 years ago, fresh in all your memories, I guarantee it, UFC 214, DC John Jones 2. We all remember that chaos between those two. Now the fight was overturned. The head kick, the crying. Chris Cyborg became the featherweight champion at that time. TKOing Tanya Evinger. Jerry Lawler beat Cowboy Cerrone. Tyron Woodley beat Damian Maia. But that's what happened on this day in MMA history. Now, Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, let's do the favorite part of everybody's show, the raffle. All right, we just have 3 questions this week. Me not happy about that. Guys, Psyche Prods on Facebook, get your questions in so you can be eligible to win a prize. I got prizes to give. I'm giving stuff away. Thought I lost something. Anyways, question number 1 comes from Rudy Asher, who won the 240 raffle, the prediction raffle. His question: if you were in charge of hiring and production at the WWE, which UFC fighter would you sign? None, Rudy. I wouldn't sign a damn person. I want to keep the wrestlers, the wrestling. I don't want to go to another lane and pick off somebody. But if you put a gun to my head, I don't know. You need people that are charismatic. Okay, you can't have someone like Robbie Lawler because just doesn't talk. You need someone. You would need a John Jones. You would need an Israel Adesanya, a Colby Covington who has done wrestling in Jersey Pro, and he has said when his MMA career is done, he's going into professional wrestling. So Colby would fit. I don't know about the women. Maybe Valentina Shevchenko, Random Marcos, Yana Kunitskaya, because you want kind of like the hotter chicks. Maybe Rachel Ostovich, but Rachel doesn't really talk that much. Maybe Henry Cejudo, King of Creepers. How do I forget him? You could, but that's a nice little list. Even though I said I wouldn't take anybody, gun to my head, I'd take all those guys. You need guys that chirp, and obviously Connor. Question number 2 comes from Brad May, looking to get a win on the board. If Max loses, does he go to 155? Well, obviously Max did not lose. No, Max needs to stay at 145. Okay. Yes, he's a big 145er. He needs to stay there. And if he ever does move to 155, I want him to take 8 months off, 10 months off, let his body get used to the weight. Question number 3 comes from Kenny Hodgkins. How long until Max goes back up to 155? Well, like I just answered, he shouldn't be going to 155. Okay? He needs to stay at 145. Those are 3 questions. Let's see who wins, shall we? The winner is number 2, Brandon May, on the board. Congratulations, Brandon May. Your prize, and Kenny Hodgkins, your prize from last week, will be shipped tomorrow. Rudy, I will see you tomorrow to give you your gift, if you ever answer your phone. Guys, we are seconds away right here on Strong Island Television from the Newman Show. The big guy, Dennis Newman, is in the house already. So, I want to remind you, like I do every single week, everybody, just because all of you are not athletes doesn't mean you guys can't be athletic supporters. Auf Wiedersehen.